So how do you program things into the quantum field? The first thing that's important to recognize is that the quantum field is conscious. It is responding to you. It is listening to you. It is paying attention to your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your beliefs, how you move in the world, what you embody, who you are being. Also, the quantum field is not separate from you. You are the quantum field, technically. So that's also important to recognize, that there is not a distance or a disconnect between you and the quantum field. You literally are the quantum field. So the first thing that's important to start doing if you want your outer reality to shift, to change, to be different than what you are already witnessing, experiencing, is to communicate with the quantum field in a way that tells it that you have already received and are already experiencing what you want to be true. So an example of that is, a lot of people, and I used to do this too, when you're asking for things, when you're praying to God, when you're asking, trying to use the law of attraction, and asking is the key word. Asking for things to be different. But what is at the core of that asking? At the core of that asking is the energy of not having it because you're having to ask for it. If you want to put yourself in a position or on a timeline where things are different, then you have to act like it already is different now. So instead of saying, please, I need more money, please, I want this job, please, I want to be happier, I want people to be nicer to me, whatever it is, I need somewhere nicer to live, I need a nicer car, changing that conversation to, thank you for the abundance I live in every day. Thank you for the resources that I am currently unaware of being shown to me in the moment I need them. Thank you for the infinite resources appearing in my life. Thank you for the opportunities that arise every day for my life to improve and for the lives of those around me to improve. Thank you for a new and improved vehicle. Thank you for a peaceful home, somewhere that I feel safe, that I feel stable. Thank you for the joy that I feel every day. Thank you for this perfect life that I'm living. Thank you for the fact that I wake up every morning. Thank you. When you speak to the quantum field in this way, you are putting yourself, you are closing that gap between what you are living now and what you want to live, because you are affirming it already is done. So when you communicate with the quantum field this way, it doesn't take much time before you actually start to experience the reality that you prefer. So communicating with the quantum field, and then going back to the fact that the quantum field is listening to your thoughts, it's responding to your emotions, your beliefs, your behaviors. You need to start acting like the things you want to be true are already true. So if something that, I'll give you an example from my life. I used to be debilitatingly shy. I was terrified if I had a presentation to do at school. Meeting new people made me nervous. I was very uncomfortable at the idea of having attention on me. And what I started to do, and I didn't consciously know that I was communicating with the quantum field differently back then when I did this, but what I did was I started acting like I was confident. I pretended I was confident. And it didn't take long before I wasn't pretending anymore. And I started to notice that I was getting different feedback from people around me when it still felt like pretending. I still could feel like I was anxious and nervous about speaking in front of people, but I started to receive input along the lines of how it seemed that I had no anxiety. I seemed really confident. I seemed really comfortable in what I was doing. And then it got me realizing that I was actually creating this new reality, and it was being reflected back to me. And then before long, it wasn't long before I actually did feel confident, and I actually wasn't nervous to be talking in front of people. So start behaving in ways, even if it feels a little bit false in the beginning, act in ways like everything you already have is yours. And that doesn't have to be something material. That can be a state of being. That can be confidence. That can be joy. Same thing with your body. Your body's listening to you too. If you look in the mirror and you want to feel happier, are you going to wait for the reflection to smile? No, you have to smile, and then you are seeing that reflection back to you of you smiling. So if you are to smile in a moment where you feel like you need a mood shift, you're actually not feeling very happy, but you smile, your body doesn't know the difference between a real smile and a fake smile. It's like, oh, she's smiling, he's smiling, I guess we're happy. So start to implement these small changes that can expedite you moving towards the reality that you've been asking for, because often we look to the external, we wait for things to change out there, but it's not going to. We are unknowingly sometimes recreating the same reality over and over because we're waiting for the outside to change and then being like, oh yeah, see, this is what I'm experiencing, this is how it is. But really, you have to change from the inside out for that external reality to change, because you are the quantum field. It starts with you. It doesn't start with the outside. So give it a try. The quantum field is listening. You are the quantum field. You are not bringing anything towards you that is out there. It is all within your field. It is all within you. It is not distant. There is no distance. The only perceived distance is a dissonance, a distance in vibration. That is all it is. So shifting your vibration can happen with the way you speak to yourself, the thoughts that you hold in your mind, that you allow to take residence in your mind, and the way you are acting, the energy that you are embodying on a day-to-day basis. And we have a lot more control over our state of being than we often utilize. So give it a shot.